Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Jay the One Gamer video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the last 4 characters that are revealed for Samurai Warriors 5, that being in the form of 2 returning characters and 2 brand new playable characters as well, and along with a little surprise that happened at the end of the stream as well, so please look forward to that. Before we jump into this though, I want to let you guys know that I am currently doing a mini-series called Road to Samurai Warriors 5, and basically me and my friend are going to be playing Kessen 3, leading up to the Western release of Samurai Warriors 5. I'm going to try and have those videos out on Fridays around 2:30 if I can. Feel free to drop on by and watch those videos and let me know what you guys think. But without further ado, let's jump into the character, shall we? And let's start off with the brand new characters revealed first. So as I stated before, we got the last 4 characters revealed in the form of 2 returning characters and 2 brand new playable characters. I figured why not start with the 2 brand new playable characters first. Now again, I want to preface like I always do, I apologize immensely if I butcher any of the pronunciations of these names, but with that going forward, let's take a look at the first brand new character revealed, and that is Yasuki. I believe there are 2 ways to pronounce his name. I'm going with Yasuki. If I am wrong and that is not the correct way to pronounce his name, please let me know in the comments. And with that being said about Yasuki, I probably know next to nothing on this character. I do know that he is a foreign samurai and that Oda did take him in and did actually make him a samurai, and he's very loyal to Oda. But other than that, I don't know really much about him historically, but you know, that being besides the point, I really like his character design. Like, I'm really loving the half cloak motif. I'm loving his color scheme of the yellow and gold. I think it looks really great. And the only thing I'm not a big fan of is probably his weapon choice, and the only reason I say is because the design itself to me kind of looks a little ridiculous. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like brass knuckle designs, but for some reason the knuckle design for me just looks really weird and subtracts from it. But moving away from his weapon design, I think the character is very interesting. They say that he's pretty much going to be very loyal to Oda, and I think he might take the role of Ranmaru for a little bit, only because it seems like they're going to paint him as the loyal page that follows Nobunaga into pretty much like death situations. And another thing I don't know about Yasuki is I don't really know when he would show up historically with Oda, but besides all the stuff that I don't know about Yasuki, I think it's a great addition to have him into the game, and honestly I'm just looking forward to see how he plays. And like I said, maybe his weapon design will grow on me after we see the knuckles in action, but like I said, that's probably the only negative I have towards his design, is that his weapon looks really weird to me. But all in all, Yasuki, really like the design. I'm looking forward to seeing him in action too. And now we come to the last brand new playable character revealed in Samurai Warriors 5, and that is the head of the Iga Ninja clan himself, Momichi Sanryu, and I apologize immensely if I butchered that name. And yeah, I found this very interesting. There's a lot of ninjas this time around with Mutsuki, Hanzo, I forget the other guy's name, I'm sorry, the one with the hood, and then of course Momichi. Honestly, again, like Yasuki, I don't know a lot about Momichi. I do know that he does fight Oda a lot, I think, on his way to the capital, because I believe the Iga Ninja were a thorn in Oda's side for a very long time. I'm very curious to see how that's going to work. He also seems to team up with Hideyoshi as well, so he's going to have a relationship there. And honestly, design-wise, he just looks like, I want to say, the Chad of ninjas, because he's so bulky and he's just crazy to look at. And also, he's wielding the Kusurigari, which belonged to Hatori Hanzo, but unlike Hanzo, he's not wielding the blade on a reverse grip. Instead, he's wielding it the same way that Jai Shu does in the Dynasty Warriors franchise, which I find very interesting. And honestly, if you can see his gameplay, he looks like he's going to be fun to play as, and I just can't wait to see what he's going to do and how he's going to interact with the rest of the cast, especially between him and Oda. But him and Hideyoshi, like I said, seem to have some kind of relationship, so that's going to be very interesting. Honestly, from all these new characters and everything that they've shown off, I definitely want to see how Oda's eventual change to them happens when he eventually goes from being, of course, stops being the full Wawari and becomes the Demon King that we all know. But I think that's jumping ahead into the scenarios. But all in all, Sanryu, I think he looks really great. Like I said, I think Niwa technically should have had this position, but that's all I'm going to say on it. And all in all, looking forward to seeing this character in action, just like Yosuke. Alright, now that we got the newcomers out of the way, let's take a look at the 2 returning characters that are making into Samurai Warriors 5. And honestly, we already knew who the one character was going to be, but let's talk about the other character who I honestly thought had maybe an iffy spot in making into the game. That is, of course, the leader of the Psycho Mercenaries himself, Sakamaguichi. And can I just state that he looks incredible in his redesign? He looks like he's straight out of a 1980s action movie. I mean, look at him. He's completely bulked up. He is no longer the suave, pretty boy that I think he thinks he is in Samurai Warriors 4. And gone is his musket. Instead, it looks like he's wielding, like I said, like a cannon or a blunderbuster, and he just looks so grizzled and jacked. I mean, I think I like this redesign. It definitely screams to his mercenary roots. But again, what I find interesting is the fact that how is he going to play and how is he going to interact with the rest of the cast? Because in the old Samurai Warrior games, they always played up his relationship with Hideyoshi, their friendship. And I wonder if they're going to play that up this time in Samurai Warriors 5 with him and Hideyoshi, or are they going to treat him as a separate entity with no prior history to maybe Hideyoshi or anyone in particular? But either way, I really do like his new redesign. He looks like an action hero to me, and I think that's really freaking awesome. And only time will tell how he's going to play and how he's going to interact with Nobunaga, which I'm very looking forward to seeing in action. Okay, and we come to the last returning character, of which I'm pretty sure no one is surprised about this, considering he was revealed very early on alongside his lord and his other also famous Tokugawa retainer, and that is, of course, Hatori Hanzo. And honestly, I think this is one of Hanzo's best designs, because we finally get to see what he looks like underneath his mask, because I think up until this point we've never seen him without some kind of mask on. So that's really cool, and his new weapon is interesting too. Like I said, he doesn't have the Kusarigari. Instead, now he's wielding what I think they call a ninja blade, and honestly it's kind of interesting to me only because in the one shot you see right here, you see it's a sword with a reverse grip on it, but then if you look at the other render of him, we get to see him with the same sword but another sword on the other hand. So I don't know if that means this weapon has the ability to turn into two blades or if it's a two-bladed weapon to begin with, but I can't wait to see this in gameplay. They've also stated that he's going to share a connection with Momichi, one of the brand new playable characters, because of his time as an Iga ninja, which I find very interesting, and I always like to see how Hanzo would interact outside of just the Tokugawa retainers. This makes it look like we're finally going to get to see that on a bigger scale. I mean, we did kind of get to see that with, you know, Spirit of Sanada when he did train Sasuke, but I was kind of hoping that we could see a little more of Hanzo because he is one of these prolific figures of at least the Tokugawa camp. Honestly, I do want to see how he's going to interact with the other members of the cast besides Ieyasu and Tadakatsu. I want to see how he's going to feel with Senna, because fun fact, the son that he has with Senna, Hanzo is actually one of the people there for his execution, and it was said that he was the one who was the son's second, who was to cut his head off after he committed seppuku. Apparently the story goes he cried when his lord tried to do it, and I don't know if he actually was able to succeed in his role as the second, but I definitely want to see if that's going to carry into the game as well, but that's to be seen. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the returning characters, but we still have two more guys showing up for this very special reveal, which I think you guys are going to really like, because I really liked it when I saw it too. Alright, and with this, we do have all 27 playable characters in the game, but during the live stream, they showed us off during the trailer the reveal of two mature characters, the same way they did with Yukimura in Spirit of Sanada. That is, of course, for Akechi Mitsuhide and Oda Nobunaga themselves, and we're going to take a look at Mitsuhide first, and honestly, his design I think looks really cool. I do love the fact that he's changed his design now to a more purple and silver motif, and what's also interesting about Mitsuhide's mature character design is I think he's given the last new weapon moveset. That is a katana and pistol moveset, which you can see in the screenshot, which I'm very interested to see how that's going to work. But I was not expecting Mitsuhide to get a mature version. I wasn't expecting any character to get like an aged version, but honestly I think it's really good because he is pretty much the second main character next to Oda himself. And speaking of Oda, now I know I said that Shingen was probably my favorite redesign ever, and that's kind of still holding true, but goddamn, Oda Nobunaga's Demon Lord form definitely is number 2, if not number 1, depending on how I feel, because holy crap, look at this. No longer is he the fool of Awari that we've been seeing all game. Now he looks like a true Demon Lord that everyone knows him for, and holy hell, look at his facial features. He definitely doesn't look like a guy who cares about his enemies or other people anymore. This looks like someone who's truly seen the horrors of war and has become so numb to it that he is willing to become the very thing that he hated to stop all the violence. And honestly, I think this is one of the best designs ever. He doesn't look like that whimsical millionaire that he's always been like since I think Samurai Warriors 1. He kind of looks like a real life demon lord. Like his facial features seem like he has had enough. He has seen too much violence, death, and everything, and it has just finally washed over him to the point where he's like, I'm not gonna let it destroy me anymore. I'm gonna harden my heart and I will walk the path of destruction that I have to. And honestly, I think that looks great, and this has to be one of my favorite redesigns of him, bar none. I think this is 100 times better than his full of Awari design. It does look like he might get the katana moveset, but that being said, if you look at the screenshot, along with Kenshin, he doesn't really have his sheath there that Mitsuhide and the others have always had when they use the moveset, which some people seem to think that since these are mature characters, and like they had in Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sanada, where when Yukimura got his mature moveset, he pretty much got access to extra moves. I don't know if this means that older Nobunaga is going to get access to the same kind of treatment. We'll have to wait and see if mature Mitsuhide and Nobunaga are going to be treated the same way that, you know, older Yukimura was treated in the old game. This was the last reveal of the characters, guys, and honestly, I have no idea what they're going to do going forward with any more live streams if it's not gameplay reveals and all that. But that's all the information we got from the live stream. I want to thank you guys very much for watching the video. I want you all to have a great day, and remember, let's rock and all hail the Demon King, baby!